ViewFest 2025 is hosted by Words of Hope for Life, and it is the nation's largest mental health and prevention festival of its kind. It will be returning to the Detroit Zoo on July 13th for a day of connection, education, and empowerment. With me on the Splash Live is Words of Hope for Life Board President Glen Schwartz and Board Member Sue Dumond. Thank you both for being here.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
We appreciate that. This is a very interesting event, so let's break this down. I want to ask both of you, well, starting with you, Glen. This event, ViewFest, I believe it's the 5th annual, and it's the largest mental health experience in the U.S. What does this milestone mean to you and your team?
You know, the event, this is the 5th year, started in 2021 locally at Walled Lake Central High School was our first year. And what started as really kind of just a thought about how we can bring community together has really turned into something that is astronomical. I mean, the amount of pride that we have for being able to conduct this activity, this event, is just, it's overwhelming to us. This year, we have over 300 sponsors and community organizations participating in the event, and over 4,200 people registered to participate in the festival, which is just absolutely phenomenal.
Wow, 300 sponsors, over 4,000 attendees registered. That is phenomenal. Okay, we're looking at a very big event. And with that being said, Sue, just inquiring with you, the theme, Live in the Moment, what inspired this theme, and how do you feel like it's going to shape the overall experience?
Well, Live in the Moment, the reason we selected that for this year is to really bring people back to just being present. So what you're finding out in the world today, that people are always thinking about the future or the past and not really enjoying what's happening right in front of them. So to highlight that, we have a special exhibit with 5 tents representing the senses, each one of our senses, to really experience and learn how to take that and just be present with smell, touch, sight, hearing, taste. And so that's a very special exhibit that we're putting on this year, and to really highlight the theme. We have an additional theme that we wanted to talk to you about today, and that is No Limits, No Labels. And it's a really spectacular exhibit where we're highlighting people from all different cultures, nationalities, race, age, young, old, male, female, and it's their photo on huge posters, and they're answering a mental health question. And it's really to highlight that mental health affects everyone, and it's just so that you don't have a stigma behind it. And it's going to be pretty powerful. We probably have over 70 faces of people that answered these questions from all over the community, from all different aspects, all different professional positions to children, and it's really spectacular.
Oh, I'm getting more and more impressed as we're giving out this information. I'm loving that. So continuing with you as well, we're looking at fun, we're looking at resources, we're looking at strategies from professionals, we're looking at, other different people expressing themselves. It's a lot going on. So what balance do you aim to achieve between both entertainment and the mental health education?
Well, first of all, when you enter into this festival, I just want to say you're going to be entering in what we call Banner Row. And it's banner after banner after banner of positive messaging. And you can't help but, as soon as you walk in, feel that you're part of a community, that you're not standing out alone. And you walk in and you immediately have a smile on your face. And it is a festival where there are a lot of mental health resources, prevention resources available, but it's more of a festival, and that is something that you have access to. But every one of our sponsors that are there, they're there to engage with the community, to have activities with the families, and to also be there as a point of contact. So it is a wonderful mix of activities for all ages, whether you're a child or an adult, along with positivity, inclusivity, and just a lot of fun.
I love that. I love that. Now, I got to go back to Glen on this, because if I'm not mistaken, Glen, you mentioned that you all started this in 2021 in Walled Lake at the high school or something, if I'm not mistaken, but now we're at the Detroit Zoo. Let's talk about that. How do you feel like choosing the Detroit Zoo as the venue actually enhances the festival's mission?
Yeah, it's a great question. You know, we were presented an opportunity years ago to be able to have a festival and walk at the Detroit Zoo, something we absolutely could not turn down,
Hmm.
predominantly because it represents the Tri-County. So when you talk about Oakland, Wayne, Macomb, we have everybody represented. We have officials from each of the communities coming, but it really gives us a much broader audience and allows us to make a larger impact. But what's really interesting is the event has grown so big that
Yeah.
we're bringing in sponsors and people far away. I mean, outside of the state, up north, throughout. So
Yeah.
it's a great opportunity for community to get together.
No, man, I'm still impressed with the 300 sponsors and 4,000 registered attendees.
Mhm.
That just lets me know the scale that we're talking about right now, and I love that. But with me right here live on the Splash, by the way, Words of Hope for Life Board President Glen Schwartz and Words of Hope for Life Board President Sue Dumond, just talking about this upcoming mental health event that'll be happening at the Detroit Zoo, ViewFest 2025, happening January 13th as well. Glenn, kind of getting back to you, I want to inquire about this. Essentially, this event-based community intervention, EBCI model that you all have going on. Can you just talk about this and how it drives mental wellness through collective experience?
Yeah, absolutely. So back when the organization was formed, the whole intent was how do we make an impact that is one to many versus one to one? Therapy is not for everyone. It's not accessible to everyone. It's not affordable for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
So, well, how can we make the largest impact to many people? And our way in doing that was addressing the mental health crisis through community, right? So, mental health impacts people differently. The way that they resolve mental health crisis or issues is different for everybody. But what we do know definitively is that the more community connectiveness you have, the greater ability you have to overcome these obstacles. And so the event-based community intervention is our way of bringing community together, community organizations together to provide these resources to those that may need them. And what's really interesting about this is as we've continued to grow, we hear more and more that different community organizations and community members want to participate simply because it seems to be a very cohesive and good model moving forward.
Right, right. Oh, man.
Mhm.
Great work, great resources that you all are putting out there. We love that. Sue, inquiring with you, you spoke a little bit about the fact that we're here to pretty much accommodate from all different races, ages, religions, groups, and things of that nature. Are there any specific programming that's tailored for different audiences of different demographics that'll be there?
Well, as I mentioned before, it's all about inclusivity.
Hmm.
And we have representation from probably every aspect that you could imagine. We do have a particular area that we have what we call we call Vibe with Pride. That's bringing in our LGBTQ plus
Hmm.
community, along with other representation from different schools, from different organizations like Affirmations, Free Mom Hugs, Stand with Trans, to really make them feel inclusive, make it feel that they're part of a larger community and a safe place for them as well. I did want to mention something else too
Yes,
that if I could take a little side note here.
please.
What I neglected to mention before is that we are holding 2 world records, and typically at our events we try to do something different and special every year. As you mentioned, we're doing Live in the Moment this year.
Hmm.
In the previous years, we held 2 world records. One had to do with the longest line of postcards, and we had the entire community draw these and color on these postcards, give them back to us, and we lined them up at Walled Lake Central High School at our very first View Fest. And then we collected all those cards and we passed them out to the community, to nursing homes, orange services overseas, to schools. So people felt a connection and knew that they counted, particularly during COVID.
Yeah.
Going forward, the last world record that we did, which was last year, right at the zoo, was we trained the largest number of people on Narcan, which is the reversal spray for an
Hmm.
opioid overdose. And that was pretty spectacular because it was a point of education. And there's a lot of people that are afraid to even learn about what is Narcan. I don't need to know about it. It was a safe environment
Yeah.
and a great experience for everyone that participated in it. And at the end of that world record, when we did the training, we also gave out thousands of Narcan to everyone at the festival, which again, it will be available for everyone at the festival this year and going forward. As we always have it available to hand out.
Oh, great. Another great resource that you all are providing, and we love that. You're pretty much covering a lot of bases when it comes to mental health right there, and we appreciate that. Don't want to hold you up too much longer. Just pretty much wrapping up, Glenn, if anyone is interested in supporting the event, volunteering, sponsoring, attending, just talk about the opportunities and how they can get more information.
Yeah, so some of the opportunities now are limited this year simply because the event is up in a few days. But if you go to viewfest2025.com, you can learn more. And shortly after the festival, we will be announcing already ViewFest 2026, and that information will also be up. So we're going to encourage the community and those that want to get involved next year to do so early on so that we can prepare accordingly. But again, if you want to learn more about this year, if you want to make a donation, all of the money that we receive towards ViewFest goes to ViewFest and goes to allowing additional people into the venue. We can only make it as large as the amount of donations we receive in sponsorships. So to the community, anything that is provided is greatly appreciated. You can also go to wordsofhopeforlife.com. It's the number 4 for additional information about the organization or ViewFest of past years.
Oh, my God. Thank you both so much. I'm so glad that we were able to get that information out to our audience as well. Once again, Words of Hope for Life Board President Glen Schwartz and Words of Hope for Life Board member Sue Dumond. We appreciate you both.
Thank you
for having us.